Hey guys, all right. So I wanted to follow up with you and share what's been going on the last 24 hours since I talked to my dad. And it's been really good. I mean, it's hard, it hurts, and it's difficult. But yeah, I think after years of working through this and dealing with it and trying to I've built up enough good stuff in my life to be able to handle what feels like the final nail in the coffin with my family. Um, I think I finally know what I need to do. And so, anyway, and that is to absolutely remain no contact with my family. And so, some good things that I learned from my conversation with my dad is one is that my parents are united in their message, in their beliefs and message then about me. That they both believe that my mom hasn't done anything wrong, or if she has, it's nothing really big. Nothing that, another argument couldn't clear up, which of course it would never clear up because she's not capable of authentically apologizing or understanding even what happened, and she's refusing to get treatment to help herself to be able to even understand. And why would she? I mean, like, my dad is now starting to, know side with her and stuff like that. So because of that then, and now that it's been 18 months since I've been involved in their lives, my extended family and my siblings have all then, I'm sure, heard a united message from both my mom and dad. And so that means that, when it comes to what kind of picture has been painted about me to my family and to my siblings, it's definitely a picture of that I am lost, that I am damaged, that I am way too sensitive, that I am too immature. Yeah, all those kinds of things that I know my mom has said to me on the angry voice messages that I've gotten from her over the last year and a half. So, yeah, so bottom line is that yeah, so there's that. So there's a clear message that's been given out to all of my extended family and my siblings about me. And of course, my extended family doesn't know the situation because they aren't as close to my parents, obviously. Like, borderline parents can come off like functional forever, to the right people and the right situation. So yeah, so it's pretty clear that they definitely think that there's something super wrong with me. All right, and so that goes to the next point, which is that both of my parents are suffering from some kind of delusion. And it's worse than I thought. I was really surprised to hear that my dad say that the biggest thing that I think that really surprised me yesterday was that he, yelled at me that my mom has never once said that she was disappointed in me or our relationship. And I'm just like, that's insane. That's what this whole thing has been about. It's truly what it's been about. And is that she is upset that I'm not close to her. And so, of course, that's the major, mega disappointment. And that's what continues to spark all of this, tension and drama, and whether I was in her life or not. I mean, because we did talk a little bit about what if I could just have a very superficial relationship with her. Like I said, it would just perpetuate the cycle. She would endure the idea of me being, shallow with her, but it would fester because she's a borderline. It would fester, that whole sense of abandonment, that sense of rejection. And so, because of that, she will just blow again. Maybe not right away. I think maybe it's extended out to probably another 2 to 3 years, but nonetheless, it's going to happen. And nonetheless, I'm going to live on pins and needles and go back to that stress and anxiety because of that with her, so yeah. So knowing that my dad is also delusional in this is really helpful and insightful for me as well. And then the last one is it's just really the conclusion, which is I have absolutely no one capable of supporting me in my family. There's nobody who's capable of supporting me, who's related to me by blood or by name. And I have to accept that, and and I have been. It's this isn't any shocking news. I've been living it out, But I think that listening and talking to my dad was just the final confirmation, because I think if my dad was actually able to be, within that support system for me with my mom, then there was hope, that maybe we could continue some kind of a relationship, on some polite, tolerable level, because he would be like, knock it off, and stuff like that. But that's not going to happen. It's clear that he really does believe that, you know, um, he is he's delusional too, and so both my parents are nuts. Man, what a crazy situation that I came out of. Oh, so anyway, I I, of course, like, I've got some anger for sure that I kind of have to work through, because this is kind of a new layer of pain, which is sucks. But, um, but I've got a lot of, but I've done enough work. I should be okay. It's just going to take me a little time, because the big thing that I don't want to get stuck in is unforgiveness and being bitter and being angry and being, pissed and all that stuff, because it doesn't help me move forward. And the whole point of what I'm doing, the whole point of Inhabit Yourself as a channel, is for those of us who have grown up in borderline parents, parental, families, is to be able to move our lives forward and not stay stuck. And so anyway, so I wrote out why why staying no contact will continue to benefit me. So one is that I have stopped the cycle of abuse, and I'm so excited. I can't even tell. I mean, really, like, once you go like no contact and you really experience the peace, the security, the safety, when you discover like your self-esteem, your self-worth just naturally rises. Like, it's just impossible to go back to that situation again. You can't go back unless they've changed, and such. So I also accept that I don't have to personally, um, handle, sorry. I accept that I don't have the personality to handle the dynamics. That's so true. I do not judge anybody in my family who's sticking around. I don't judge anybody in my family who is choosing to stay involved. To each their own when it comes to how we deal with abuse. And, I think that for me, because I am a highly sensitive person, and it's not a negative thing, it's just the way I'm wired. It's about one out of, I think they say like 1 out of 8 people or something are just naturally born as highly sensitive. And then also to the way my personality is wired, I'm very, I'm super aware, and I'm analytical, and I'm an idealist, and I'm a feeler. All of that kind of wraps into me not being able to tolerate toxic relationships like other people. Other people can endure a lot better because, they're just not as, they're not as sensitive, they're not as aware, and so they can move through it much better without as much problems, and probably because of that, they may not even trigger the tension and the drama like I do with my mom. And so I have to just simply accept that and own it and acknowledge it, and and stuff. So Yeah, and again, I've simply grown too much in this last year and a half. To go back would be just absolutely, would definitely feel demeaning and devaluing to me, and also my recovery and my healing and all of that. I have changed as much as I can to make this relationship work. And bottom line is that she can't, and she won't. And it's absolutely clear that their view of me is absolutely negative and guilt and shame filled for me. And so the idea of being involved would only cut me down. It would only cut me down. I know it would. So in the long run, it's also, this is another one I had to really figure out, but in the long run, it's better for my siblings to see someone has gotten out of the abuse than for me to be participating in it with them. I think that they need to see that someone can move on and thrive, um, because of that choice. And I think that they need to see that someone can successfully do that as an option, um, if they ever feel like they need to do that and such. So I think that's a better way for me to support them than for me to try to be in their lives right now where it's incredibly awkward and uncomfortable, and also too, they're under her thumb. The manipulation, the guilt, the shame. I mean, I have certain siblings who have learned to hide and stay secretive with her. So, yeah. I also have to believe that there's a bigger reason for my situation. I can't believe that, like, I would be placed in this situation without being able to use it in a way to give light or help others. And that's what I think. I honestly think that, part of the reason why I'm going through this with kind of the skill set and background and abilities that I have is so that I can actually do Inhabit Yourself and be able to help people out. So, and then also to, again, this kind of goes down to the video series I just did. I can't prepare for a successful relationship without cutting toxic relationships out of my life. I can't. If I was to go back into that whole family system and that whole family drama, that is going to totally affect me. And if that affects me, that's going to affect the choices that I make in dating and relationships and things like that. And also, too, that means that I'm introducing into my boyfriend, my, potentially future spouse's life, this kind of dynamic. And I just, I don't think that's super healthy. I mean, it would be really great to have someone in my life who could be a buffer, and I think that I would almost need that if I was to ever go back and visit them. Um, but that's like kind of, it. So I just can't, yeah. So anyway, so kind of like what I've figured out. So what's my action plan at this point? Well, my action plan is, one is I'm not going to do anything when it comes to my parents. I think I'm all the more needing to figure out like what's to do. Any decision that I do now when it comes to contact or communication with them will be really 100% based on what do I need? What do I need and what can I do, um, that is best and comfortable for me, and not put me back into a situation where I'm getting text messages from her and all that other ugly crap. Um, and then also to, um, the siblings who get it, because I do have siblings who get it without a doubt. Um, Somewhere in the next 5 to 15 years, my hope is that, they will, reach out to me when, they can and secretly build a relationship with me, because that's just kind of how it works, with them and stuff. So, yeah, so I have to just stick it out. And I think the last part too, which I think is the most most important out of all of this is I have to let go and move forward. I have to let go of my family and let go of this whole situation and move my life forward and focus on the things I need to focus in on. I am so blessed with the best family here in my city and my state, because I live like 1,000 miles from my family. And I just found out that, like, one of my best friends asked me if I would be her maid of honor in her wedding, and stuff. And yeah, I've put in probably 5 hours of conversation just from one of my surrogate moms, just this last few days and stuff like that. And so I am so blessed to have such good people in my life who really do love and support me. And and I need to be focusing on those relationships, and I need to be focusing in on what value and what gosh, how good I am to myself these days, because I won't let myself get caught back up in the drama again. And hell, I even went more so smoothly through this whole thing, so much better than I ever have ever in my life when it comes to my encounters with my parents and stuff. And you know, um, I. I had so much to be grateful for, so much to move forward for, and that I am free and stuff like that to move and create the life that I want to, and know that, like, I am going to have the right people in it, and I'm going to go do the right thing, and I don't have to live out anymore for another minute the cycle of characteristics that my family lives out, which is, overworked and martyrdom and all that kind of stuff, and the emotional abuse and things like that. So I'm so blessed, truly. And I hope that whatever decisions you make in your own family when it comes to your boundaries with them, that you'll be able to feel the same way. That you can feel peace and security and safety and be able to focus on moving forward, because yeah, we all, to each our own when it comes to who we keep in our lives and who we don't when it comes to, like, the borderline family drama. So anyway, let me know your opinions or thoughts, and thanks so much for watching.